Links to join channel here over at SubScribestar or over at Odyssey. Thanks everyone over there. So Black Myth versus Sweet Baby and IGN. The summary is that video game company gets approached by a woke globalist political commissar to consult on a video game, and they simply decline to hire Sweet Baby for $7 million. I had no. You can hire me for consulting, $70. I had no idea the consulting fees were that ridiculous. I would just give you a stamp of approval. Yeah, this is based in Chadpill. Put the 70 in the mail. $7 million to make it, diverse, lame, and gay. First of all, diversity, feminism, inclusion, equity, that's all Frankfurt School Bolshevism. None of it works because, if you're an SJW, please tune out. You definitely subbed to the wrong channel. The 12 cents from the viewer interaction is not worth the passive-aggressive comments, which do bother me. I'm going to admit it. SJW comments, the long ones, they bother me because I can't respond the way I need to respond. Where was I going with this? None of it works because people aren't equal. And a diverse group is weaker and less efficient than a homogenous tribe. The left is lying. They've been lying for a long time. There's studies. People have studied this for hundreds of years. In fact, a recent Amazon study was talking about how to destroy unions. You just diversify the workforce. If you've got a Spanish population, an English population, speaking population type of thing, they can't work together to unionize because they don't trust each other. It lowers social cohesion. This is well known, and every time you see a politician, a Trudeau type, get up there and say, it's our strength, it's bizarre Weimar levels of gaslighting to say something that has objectively been proven through, cultural anthropology and sociological studies for hundreds of years to be false, including recent studies. Anyway, all those hot words, it's a little iffy for YouTube. All those istophobic words, I'll say that. I was going to say some other things, but the sexism type of stuff and a bunch of other those words, those are Alinsky techniques to control and manipulate you after you've been brainwashed. This stuff takes. Like, some of it has been set in place for 100 years, where they build these shields. They install these shields, and they enforce them slowly before they need them, and then they start doing reprehensible things, and when you call them out on it, they simply raise these shields and say, oh, look, you're istophobic. I'm using that for euphemism for all those other, sexy and racy types of words. So what Sweet Baby type of companies do is take games, and apparently for some reason, for some serious money as well, they race swap out the beautiful blonde people of Delight, and they make everyone gay and black and push girl power. And all this sounds crazy, I know, because it is crazy, because it's completely zoom in higher Chinese. It's completely unneeded. A bunch of game guys put a game together. All they have to do is get some advertising and put it out there. There's no need to actually hire obese, blue-haired, nose-ring, cultural sensitivity consultants for the marginalized, oppressed, and whatever Frankfurt School buzzword nonsense they use. And all the stuff they say is nonsense. And then when you have a little interaction with them, it's like blocked. It's who's that? Alyssa Merchant and Vera Dark. She's a YouTuber who talks about like this kind of stuff, pop culture and video games. And I guess she's kind of based. And Alyssa Merchant or Mercante or something, I don't think she's playing with the full deck. I'm watching a couple of interviews with her, and she seems to be seriously disturbed. It's what Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn back in the days of Gamergate or before 2015 were doing about 10 years ago. They were getting paid to make the chicks fat and ugly. Then for whatever reason, they lost their power. I think kind of they aged out of it. Like, people will pay attention to younger, skinnier women, and then I don't know. It's to the point where Anita was begging companies to hire her, and finally Feminist Frequency got shut down, which didn't make a whole lot of sense because the channel's got followers and it's monetized. All you have to do is put out a video once a week, and you'd get a pretty a pretty good chunk of money. And it would be a declining audience, but if you kind of just keep the channel going and you wait for something big to happen, you might be able to put some fresh oxygen on that. And there's money in the channels that size, so it is kind of weird that she just kind of took her grifting money and retired. So this is a long article, hit piece. When was it written? Last year. And it's kind of funny if you go through and read it, and they go, "Oh, prepare to be shocked for all these sexy, racy things that these Chinese developers said." And then you read what they're saying. It's like, it's just totally normal. You should hear what I say every effing day. So this all happened because men couldn't just ignore a handful of woke idiots, and I'm sure many of the companies makes the video games. I'm sure there's some true believers out there, though not this company, Black Myth. Maybe it was the Trump effect. People were kind of getting tired of woke cancer, so that whole Gamergate 2015 thing faded out. Then woke came back on steroids with a new crop of, mostly women, I think, or black girl gamers or something. It's like, what a grip. I had no idea it was like they're charging millions for these consulting fees. No wonder they're absolutely losing their minds to have a multi-million-dollar business, and it looks like they're just about to go out of business. So they this is a really long article. They killed, I should zoom in a little bit. They killed comics with, Diversity in Comics was covering that for the past 10 years. And it seems like they killed Hollywood. And the destruction of Hollywood has really been like in 4 or 5 years where you're seeing just massive failure after failure. And you're going to continue to see these I look at Hollywood now, I think, I don't even ask for people to, before I would say, pay for the ticket and I'll go see the movie. And I don't even say that anymore because I don't even want to see these movies even to review them, because you're sitting through something like, this just sucks. There's just nothing here. Oh, here's a little bit of a highlight. It's like all you could have done to make it better was just not be so lame and gay and diverse and whatever. It's like, can you just get out of your own way and let the movie happen? No, we can't do this. It's like with the Blade thing. It's kind of another video. They're having problems with Blade, and the rumor is because they want to replace the actor with his daughter so they can have a female fight the vampires. And people go, all you have to do is you have a guy with swords go out and fight vampires, and there's a big fight scene at the end, and you have a cool sidekick. I think it was Sam Elliott in the first movie. And that's really just about it. And they go, no, we're going to, because it's gone through like 2 directors or something, which is bad sign. They go, the rumor is we're going to have his daughter take over for the actor. It's like, but that's not the character. People really don't want that. He's black, for God's sakes. Isn't that enough? It's like, no, he's a straight black man. That's kind of on the way out these days. So we're going to have to go for a chick. Like, the Venn diagram of female pox and action-adventure movies, they don't overlap. Male pox, fair enough. Blade, people enjoyed Blade quite a bit. But female, it's like you just had the Marvels with Brie Larson, and then you just had the Web movie, whatever, Madam Web. I gotta admit, I didn't even see Madam Web. I keep forgetting. I guess I should go back and watch these things. They bombed. So would you learn a lesson? Like, no. We'll do it differently this time. Everyone really wants a teenage, super smart ninja black chick to fight vampires who are all going to have German accents and be blonde hair, blue eyed, and just decapitate them left and right. Right, Joe Rogan. Anyway, so they kill comics and Hollywood. There's a lot of hot words in here. YouTube doesn't like colors. Hollywood, and now they're deleting games, and it's amazing how it all happens so fast. And I look at the future of woke Hollywood, I don't see a future for Hollywood. So anyway, Sweet Baby, and a lot of this is like, so it's a nice restaurant you have here, be ashamed if it burned down. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have fire insurance? I'm already insured. No, this is different, fire insurance. Honestly, like, if you have somebody like that come to your restaurant, you just better off. Anyway, so I just delete people left and right is what I'm trying to say. So Sweet Baby entered the picture because some guy noticed that all the games were woke. The woke games were tied in with Sweet Baby. So a guy, and you'd think they'd be proud of that. For some reason, they're not. So a guy develops a social media room on Steam, I believe, and Discord, and he called it Sweet Baby Detected. and they lost their freaking minds because people finally started to understand why games are so bad. It was the fault of a bunch of ugly, childless, blue-haired weirdos. And if I had to guess, I'm thinking that all this Klaus Schwab, Larry Fink, BlackRock, woke cultural Marxism in games, it feels like it's going to turn a corner, because all it takes is the game companies, like this Chinese one's a little bit in a different position. They're not at all on board the American woke stuff. They laugh at it. They even have a word for it, Baizu or something. But all it takes is these companies to say no to these literal virtue signaling commie twats and soy boys. Now, the implied threat is that the woke sweet baby will team up with Kotaku, IGN type of websites and attack the companies for not being woke enough, as this article literally shows you right now. And this thing is a very long hit piece, and that's what it is. It's just a hit piece to set them up for their what I'm trying, you know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it now that I'm trying to say it. Rehabilitate them by hiring black girl gamers or Sweet Baby or one of those kind of things. Like, we hired them for $7 million and they fixed our sexism problem. Like, we don't have a sexism problem. I think you guys are the problem. We made some edgy jokes. If you don't like it, then the game's not for you, and that's kind of it. And that's really as simple as it can be. So the threat feels like a bluff, because these gaming digital magazines are losing power, and the alternative community are gaining power. And no amount of good press will sell a bad game, and bad press is usually a good sign if the audience likes the game. It's like Rotten Tomatoes, where the professional, in quotes, soy boy reviewers give something high scores and the audience gives it low scores. The whole cultural environment is changing. So if the companies just start telling the Sweet Baby companies to eat their cunts, and they will just decline to pay them and save the $7 million, then the whole thing is over for a few years until it comes back, and it will, because all this stuff is cyclical. So video game companies in Hollywood cannot continue to lose money. These are huge investments, and eventually they're going to run out of even BlackRock's money, or the major shareholders will say this is a breach of your fiduciary duty to essentially invest in this religion of wokeism. And you can see what is happening with the Star Wars streaming experiment, where they've got like 8 shows so far. And I think the Acolyte followed up on Andor, followed up on, I don't know, some other show. They're all pretty much horrible. Even they go, the Andor was so good. It's like, no, you just have to put on the sunglasses. It really wasn't that good. The Acolyte is down to 15% audience score and like 95% reviewer score, because it's Bolshevik dog poop, and Disney has destroyed their family-friendly brand. The media is doing damage control for this affirmative action diversity stuff, which means it's in trouble. Diversity is weakness. It destroys stories, companies, almost everything it touches, because everything the globalists have told you about it has been a lie, because they're parasites that destroy everything they touch. And it's, they came for comics, and they very much destroyed. See, some of this stuff is just not translating well, because he's talking about a guy and getting wet. It doesn't quite make sense, but maybe it makes sense in Mandarin or Cantonese or something. You just got to tell these people. All it takes to start the domino effect is a couple of companies to start saying, we just. Our games, so the way they talk about, the SJWs talk about games and stuff, is marginalized communities. And I was thinking about this, and it's like, if you're a games company, just say, we feel everyone can be marginalized, oppressed, and disenfranchised, so we just treat everyone equally. And the left wing don't understand that, because right now they're fomenting this race war, where they switched from a class war a few years ago, because they have these modems to destroy nations, and they use anything they can get a hold of to destroy nations, and here they're using games. But it does feel like this could be a significant turnaround point for games companies to say, it sounds like the Chinese have got a pretty good sense of humor. The ad stating that the show's a dumbbell and the fatty should F off. I guess you took that personally. Anyway, it's pretty funny. shooting at governments. And women are dreaming about handbags. Yeah, the thing is, the things you're saying are just accurate. Yes, women are more focused on purses and shopping and lipstick and whatever it is the chicks are into, and men are focused on different things because men are not women. I know that's not PC to say that. They never will be. And genders derived from sex. It's the same thing. There's only two. They're not fungible, and that's a problem for Bolsheviks everywhere, that different tribes of people, they have to believe are fungible, and also that men are fungible with women. Men can be women. None of those things are true, but they're trying to gaslight people for so long. And the whitest of white pills is that we have alternative platforms. I don't mean YouTube. YouTube is, lame. Odyssey and BitChute and even Rumble a little bit. There are these alternative growing platforms to get this counter narrative out. Women do like soft and effeminate things. Like, if you know people of the opposite sex, you're in a relationship with them. You've been in relationships with people of the opposite sex your whole life, and I guarantee you everyone listening to this is got to be heterosexual and most likely male, but men and women are different. And when they try to tell you, oh no, men can do all these things and women like these things, like, no, they don't. No, they don't. What do you think romance books are? It's like men and women are different for a reason, and like they're not equal, but one's not better than the other. They're just different, and different tribes of people are not equal. And it's not to say, like, is a coyote better than a wolf? Is better than a giraffe? This guy's got a good sense of humor. This kid's got like my sense of humor. No, they're just different. They're adapted to different environments, and it's the same for games. If you try to make games for women and try to sell them to men, games or movies or comics, they're just not going to sell. And movies are $200 million properties. Games are just as expensive. They have to make money. They can't continue to have these losing money. And I will say the games customers are more active on social media because people who buy games, I think it's almost exclusively male and guys who are not shy about what they want. So they can get on Twitter, where Hollywood's a little bit different because the Hollywood audience is split. They do make movies for women, for couples, for different age groups. Games are different. Like, if you're going to see a resurgence, a rebellion, it's going to happen probably in the games more than anything else. I think people have just kind of given up on comics, but that was kind of on the way out anyway, where games seem a little bit different, where there's more guys who are kind of on the spectrum and willing to unabashedly say, yeah, we really like TNA in games. I mean, that would be me. I want TNA in movies everywhere. It's like Zombeaver. That's a good vibe for movies that more people should take notes on. And actually, that guy was in it. What's that comedian who was in it? I forget the name of him. He married some black chick who's like some super left-wing nut job. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys all next episode.